own things. I just hope I'm inspiration, cause that's what we all need. Givemo. Sometimes you just need some good words. Givemo. Knowledge keep increasing since birth. Givemo. I guess being real got its perk. Givemo. And when you think you can't get any worse, Givemo. If you got something heavy on your mind, Givemo. When you feel like you about to fall behind, Givemo. Even if you doing just fine, Givemo. Young guy, this is your time. Givemo.
What are transitions? We're going to take a few seconds to give everybody to think about transitions. And you should know where we're going with this video. What are transitions? Before we get started, as always, make sure you like and subscribe for more comment from the Givemo podcast. We're still in the off season. Still got things going on behind the scenes, but as always, sometimes I get bored and sometimes I do feel encouraged in the meantime, and I have messages and stuff that makes me want to speak. So what are transitions? Do we understand them? And what is transitioning while manifesting? So I was given a question, what are the differences between my childhood and probably the childhood of a child today? And people will say that, you know, back in the day you used to go outside, you used to play, and they will say now that kids don't know how to play, kids don't know how to do this, kids don't know how to do that. Transitioning from one generation to another is that, you know, some thought by the year 2020 you will have flying cars. Now, understanding that technology makes life easier, the transitioning from a more physical outside playing to a more microwavable, more hands-on electronic type lifestyle. Now some would say that is bad, but I have a background in IT, and I will tell you that this is an amazing thing that, you know, you can have a 6-year-old that can show a 70-year-old how to use technology. And you may say, like, noticing a generational gap. You can't really compare a 6-year-old to a 23, 24-year-old, not yet. But there's times where I go see my grandma and she's watching my little cousin, and she's in her 70s and I believe he's 5 or 6, and he's trying to get her to do stuff on the iPad, and I don't think he can quite understand yet that that's not part of her time. But he's probably teaching her more than I could teach her, because see, he's an innocent child. He's just, you know, he understand, but he don't quite understand that. Maybe she don't know, but she'll do her best for him. So in those moments, you're watching a big generational gap, where a baby can teach an older person how to use technology. Now you say, if the world is transitioning to a more cleaner energy, more technology, you're gonna need more cybersecurity, things like that, then maybe a child at 5 or 6 that fully knows how to get on YouTube and operate it and watch videos and be that intelligent, maybe their future is brighter than what you may think. And maybe you just have to sign them up for sports, because that don't mean children don't like to play anymore. That just means their mind is geared more towards what is going on. But anyway, let's take a deeper dive into manifesting transitions. And a lot of us sit here, we pray, we meditate, whatever form that you ask for something in and you put thought into, and we ask for a lot of things, and then when they start happening, it's either you don't see them happening because you don't believe they're happening, or you see it happening but you don't quite know how to perceive it. Because a lot of people feel like when one road ends, the next one is supposed to start. Well, there's a gray area in between what you were doing before and what you're manifesting. Now, for example, when you graduate high school, the first thing you want to do, if you want to go to college, everybody does it. When you graduate high school, you say, man, I can't wait to go to college. I'm about to live this life, and shout out to Dillon High School. I'm about to, have so much fun, this, and that. But you don't realize the transition that's about to take place. In high school, those teachers, they more nurtured you. There was like daycare. In college, those professors, they don't really care whether you turn the work in or not. Especially if you go to one of those major schools, D1 colleges, stuff like that. Luckily, I went to a school where the biggest class we was in college was 13, 14 people. It was very hands-on, and I had a different experience going to DeVry University. But one day, when you get to college, you wake up and realize, I graduated school to go back to school. And it takes a special person to be able to do that. But what's some of the known things we know? They always tell you, don't wait or you won't go. Why is that so true? Because in that transition from high school to college, that doesn't mean you can go later in life. But the longer you wait, the more obstacles you put in your mind that say, I can't go to college, I'm going to wait, I'm going to take my time. So the transition, the gray area is, I graduated. If you go to school right away, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to succeed. What that does mean is that you're already living your life in a routine. See, school, as much as a lot of us hated it, K through 12, it gave us a sense of purpose. We woke up every day early. We was on a routine. You went from one class to another. And if you think about that scheduling system in itself, it kind of prepared you to live your life in routine. What happens is a lot of people, whether it's after you graduate college, whether it's you was in the military after you leave the military, whether it's you was working a job after you quit a job, you go into what I call transitional purgatory. Now, if you know what purgatory is, there's some people that believe that, purgatory is just everlasting, what you would consider a hell, just a different version, where it's like you're just in this dimension. Well, I call it transitional purgatory because in that time, it's kind of like your transition is trapped. Because now you lived your whole life a routine, K through 12. That means from the time you was 5, 6, I didn't go to preschool, but the time you was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, daycare, all this stuff, all the way up until you, 23, 24, 25, you lived your life on a routine because school gave it to you. As much as you hated it, it takes a special type of person to be organized. I'm not really the most organized, scheduled type of person. But then you become adult and you enter what I call transitional purgatory. It's like if you don't have athletics, if you don't work out every day, if you don't have something that gets you up, if you're not a person who scheduled their life to be waking up at this time, no matter what you have to do, 6:30 you're waking up every day. That's whether you have children, whether you're single, married, 6:30 every day, this person is up. And by 9:30, 10 o'clock, this person is asleep. And they wake up earlier because for people who say they don't have enough time, there's people that know how to make time. That's a special type of person. If you're that type of person, I commend you. I'm not quite there yet, but I will get there. But anyway, like my transitional purgatory necessarily happened before I knew the power of believing in yourself. Because a lot of people, they only see what they see now. They don't see the transitions. They don't see when you're tired. They don't get to, no. You just see what's on the camera. And if you're not a part of the personal life, you don't get what's going on. Well, I've been tired lately. And that's a good thing. Because it causes you, when you're tired, you have to stop moving. You slow down. Even if you work every day, people at work started noticing what is going on with him, what is going on. And I got things that I'm working towards, and I got things that I'm working for. But I'm here to tell you that when you start getting tired, it makes you sit down, and what's the first thing people gonna say? You gotta rest. But let's just say you're tired and you go to sleep at 9:30 every night. You wake up and you get full hours of sleep and you still tired. What does that tell me? That tells me you're in the midst of a transition. That tells me that you could be going through what we call a hermit phase. Hermit phase meaning that you haven't quite figured out what your purpose is. You don't want to know what you do next. You don't know what you're doing next. You're living life day by day by day by day. There's nothing wrong with it. Everybody wants to make it seem like there's something wrong with not having everything figured out. And you're 23, and you're 24, and you're 25, and you're 26. Who told you it had to be done by then? The same way you got 12, 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old wealthy people now, it's the same way you got 30, 40-year-old, 50-year-old. Some people get rich in their 60s. And what's the difference between that? You say, oh, if I make a lot of money when I'm young, then I'll be better off in life. Well, that's cool, but it's cool to make a lot of money. But I can tell you, if you broke in soul, if you broke in any other aspect in your life, and you don't go through these hardships, I don't call them struggles because a lot of people feel like you have to struggle to relate. I don't call them struggles. I just call it hardships, lessons, blessings, whatever you want to call them. Everybody act like you got to struggle in this world. If he didn't struggle, if he didn't get it out the mud like I did, then he ain't real. Well, if that's how you feel, then that's just how you feel. But there's a lot of people living very good lives, and they ain't even never scratched their knee before. Now, when some rejection come in their life, when some things start going right, they may not be better suited to handle those things, but happy is happy. Ain't no way you could chop it. You can learn. I'd rather learn them lessons and be happy in life than go through all these hardships and stuff that everybody wants you to go to just to feel like you're a part of their group. No, that's not what life is about. We're working on healthy transitions. I'm in a transition right now. And when I talked to Tony Seven, he was like, man, I'm going to call you the king of manifesting. And there's a part of manifesting where you reach this wall, where it's like the wall that you reach is what you built. You don't realize that. The wall that you reach in manifesting, you built that wall because you have asked for so much and haven't let nothing play out. So you got to hit this wall, and you manifesting so much in so many layers. You got to climb this wall mentally, physically, in all aspects before you even receive it. And that's what people fail to realize is you have built the wall of blessings, and you don't realize that you are getting to those blessings, but you got to climb over the wall first. And that's what people don't see. They don't see transitions that way. They see it as if they don't get what they want within a reasonable amount of time, then it ain't good for them, which is fine. But I'm here to tell you that keep working on your healthy transitions, keep working on your manifesting. Try to stay out of transitional purgatory, which is what I call it. I might be saying that wrong, but we're gonna go with that. But anyway, I'm here, and I got a few more messages before I announce something major, but I'm gonna just keep manifesting, and I just hope everyone stay blessed. The world is starting to open up. Don't lose your mind too much yet, but just keep in mind that in this game of manifesting, in this game of transitioning, that whatever you want, you can have it. Whatever you want. You can even manifest the ideal person, but if you're not ready for him, if you're not ready for this wall of blessings you asking for, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing but hurting yourself. And stop putting doubt in your manifesting cycles, because every time you put doubt, you put fear, you put anything into your bowl there's a possibility that your creation will be doubt, will be fear, will be every negativity, anything that you didn't want. But like I said, we here at the Givemo podcast, it's all about the gems that we offer, and I hope I've given you guys some tonight or today, whatever time you listen to it. I really hope that everyone's taking care of themselves. Life is crazy, life is short. Remember, reach out to as many of your friends and family members as you can. Don't start no unnecessary problems with your friends and family members, because at the rate people leave this earth, you don't have enough time to really, in an instant anything can happen, so you don't have enough time to take anything negative back. So if it's not necessary, I challenge you to live life to the fullest. And as always, it's your boy Mo Williams, and I'm tuning out. Y'all be blessed.